All right, today we're going to deconstruct something so fundamental, so basic, that most of us never even think about it, our own language. We're going to explore how this simple grammar you learned in grade school isn't just a dusty set of rules, it's a powerful tool that literally builds the world you see around you. Let's dive in. Take a look at this sentence. The dog chases the ball. It feels like a simple statement of fact, right? Just a plain truth about the world. You've got a dog, you've got a ball, two separate things, two nouns, and then you have chases, an action, a verb. It seems so clear, so obvious. That's just reality. But hold on. Here's the question that's going to flip this whole thing on its head. What if that neat little division between things and actions isn't something we discovered out there in the universe? What if it's an architecture, a blueprint that we imposed on the universe using our grammar? To get our heads around this, we've got to start at our home base, the grammatical world of English, and really most European languages. And this is a world that is fundamentally built around the idea of objects. You definitely remember this from school, right? Nouns are a person, place, or thing. Verbs are actions. Adjectives describe the nouns. And look, this whole system feels completely natural to us, doesn't it? It just presents a world of stable, distinct things that every now and then do things. And here's the crucial part. This is not just some random rule. In a language like English, the noun is the absolute star of the show. The entire sentence is basically an arena that's set up to explain what a noun is doing, or what is being done to a noun. The relationships between these objects are everything. You know, a really cool way to think about this is with a computer science analogy. English grammar works a lot like object-oriented programming. It packages reality into these neat, tidy, self-contained objects, or nouns, and the whole program is just about how those objects interact with each other. The object always comes first. And this right here perfectly illustrates the consequence of that. When you repeat this object-first structure millions and millions of times your whole life, it becomes a kind of cognitive conditioning. Your brain gets trained. It becomes a habit. We are literally conditioned to see a world of separate things first, and the actions that connect them come second. Okay, now I want you to take that familiar world and just set it aside for a moment. We're about to step into a completely different linguistic reality, one that challenges the very idea of what a noun and a verb even are. So, our destination is the Pacific Northwest of North America. It's a place with just incredible linguistic diversity. And it's here that we find languages from the Salishan and Wakashan families that organize the world in a way that is, well, it's radically different. Okay, get ready, because this is where it gets really wild. Take a look at these two sentences in the language of Studham sets. In the first example, the main idea is going along, and the coyote is just part of that event. Pretty simple. The coyote goes along. But now look at the second example. The roles are completely flipped. The main idea is coyote. The sentence means something like, the one going along is being a coyote. It's coyoteing. The noun just became the verb. So how on earth is that possible? Well, it's because these languages don't start by dividing the world into things and actions. No. Instead, they divide a sentence into what linguists call the predicate. That's the main comment, the main event being asserted, and the argument, which is the topic being discussed. And here's the kicker. Almost any concept can play either role. And believe me, this isn't just a one-off trick. Let's jump over to the Nucha-Nolth language. You can say, the man is working, which makes work the main event. Or you can say, the working one is a man, and now man is the main event. The words for work, man, or even cranky aren't born as nouns or verbs. They're just flexible concepts, waiting for the grammar to give them a job to do in the sentence. Think about what this means. It's profound. In this linguistic world, the default state of reality isn't a collection of static things. It's a dynamic, flowing field of processes and events. To even get a thing, an object like a man, you actually have to add extra grammar to pull it out of a process. It's a complete flip of how English works. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's a fascinating quirk of one part of the world. But what's amazing is that this kind of grammatical flexibility is actually found all over the globe. It really shows you just how much of an outlier our rigid system is. You see it in Austronesian languages like Tagalog and Samoan, where words can easily jump between being the action or the topic. You see it in many Australian Aboriginal languages too. This blurring of the lines between noun and verb, it's a totally common human strategy for making sense of reality. So when you put it all together, you see that languages exist on a spectrum. On one end, you've got English with its really rigid, pre-assigned categories of noun and verb. In the middle, you have languages like Tagalog, which have a lot of flexibility. And then, way over on the other end, you have languages like Stay-Imsits, where the difference between a thing and an action is almost entirely created on the fly by the needs of the sentence itself. So, what does this all mean? Where does this journey through different grammars leave us? Well, it brings us right back to our big initial question. But now, I think we've got the tools to actually answer it. Let's ask it again. Are nouns and verbs real, objective categories that exist out there in the fabric of the universe, just waiting for us to put a label on them? Or are they just fictions, something we made up? It turns out that's a false choice. It's the wrong question. The answer isn't that we discovered them or that we invented them. The answer is co-creation. We are active partners in building the reality we experience. Here's how it works. Step 1, raw, unfiltered experience is just this continuous, chaotic flow of stuff. Step 2, our language gives us a toolkit, a set of conceptual knives and buckets to carve up that flow. And step 3, different languages give us different toolkits. An English toolkit carves out stable objects, while a Stadimicids toolkit carves out dynamic processes. They build different but equally valid realities. So maybe the best way to think about grammar is as a kind of cognitive technology. Seriously, it's not just for talking. It is a powerful, culturally evolved piece of software for our brains, one that's designed to segment, organize, and build a coherent world out of the raw data flooding our senses. And that leaves us with one final thought, and it's a big one. Your language isn't just passively describing the world, it is actively helping to shape it. With every single sentence you speak, you are casting a vote. You are reinforcing a particular way of seeing and being. So the real question is, what kind of world are you speaking into being?